Hi, everybody. My name is Vince Meza, and thanks for joining me. And we're doing this call for a number of the REMAX offices over there. Donna Arndt has been working with us for a while. I know she's really liked the platform, and I think she wants a lot of you to see what's going on. And it's a good time to learn about us. If you've heard about us before, or if you have not heard about us before, um, we have been doing this for about 10 years. We're called Listings to Leads, and we're an advertising platform with a very strong focus on capturing leads. I think our philosophy is if you're going to take an activity, you're going to send an email, you're going to put a virtual tour out there, you're going to put something on. We got one, okay, and you're going to put something on social media, you're going to put something on the internet. It better capture leads. That's really our philosophy. You do so many things, you're busy folks, and you're good at that. You're good at, kind of multitasking, but what you're not really good at typically is capturing leads regarded to, related to your activities. Um, and what we're going to show you, and I'm going to show you here, is there are a number of tools in here that you have access to, or you can have access to. I think some of you do and some of you don't. Um, that are all designed to market listings, help you get more listings, build a presence for you on the internet, and capture leads. So this is where you log in. I think we've got part of you on a kind of a big group plan, but you would log in up here. And before you log in, I just kind of want to point out a couple of things. You can just scroll down and see that there are a number of articles here. And I want you to know that these things exist because when you log in the first time to Listings to Leads, you are going to see a whole bunch of places to click and a bunch of tools. And a lot of people get overwhelmed by that. They don't know where to get started, right? And there are probably a couple of areas that I would tell you to get started. And these are two articles right here that sort of discuss one of our biggest things, which is Facebook ads for realtors. And it says 128 seller leads plus 3 listings, right? And so you can click on that, and this will open up a blog post, and it'll talk to you a little bit about what is going on, what that agent did. In this case, we're also showing you what that agent's ad looked like, how much they spent, and I think even the targeting. It's all pretty simple stuff, but we go through this every week with 3 live training classes for our clients. So you would always be welcome to join us for that as well. But the point really is I want you to know where the resources are. Again, we haven't logged into Listings to Leads. We just scrolled down. And there's another article that says how to get 10 listings in 4 months. And this is coming from our mastermind group. It is posted by one of our clients, Dustin Fox. And he's out in Maryland. I think he's in the Maryland area. And he took one of our letters, that is one of the many tools in the system, and just mails it out. So he did a couple mailings. He got, from the tax records, 250 homes in the area where he had just sold a home, and he got 10 listings out of this, right? That's a awesome kind of story. And if you want to kind of learn more about that, another great resource for Listings to Leads to learn our platform is our mastermind group. It's a private group. It's a secret group for our clients only. And a lot of our clients go in there and say, hey, this is what I just did. And here on July 30th is when Dustin said, the highest ROI for our business has been this neighborhood flyer. And so this is where he wrote that, and then we kind of grabbed that and put it out on our public blog. But you can see what he's doing, and he even shows you, here's the letter that I printed. Now, I'm going to show you where this letter is. We auto-generate this. It's available for you to download into print. You can do some door knocking and leave it there. You can, spend a few $100 like he did and mail it to a few different offices, or not offices, but to homes. But the point is, if you put out a letter, I don't know if it's going to capture leads for you, right? This particular letter mailed to 250 homes got 10 listings, not just leads. It got many more leads, but he got 10 listings out of that. And that's kind of, again, is what we're about. If you're going to make an activity, if you're going to do something related to real estate, get our tools involved in it. That's really all I can tell you. I am going to tell you more, of course, because we're just starting the call here. But if you can just get that, if you're doing an activity, look at what we have and how you can leverage it. This is another article from somebody named Vanessa Calhoun. I'm not actually sure where she is, but what's great is our clients share what their tools look like with all of us, right? So this is our mastermind group. It's a resource for our clients, and it's just saying she spent, she ran an ad, she used our tool, and if we click on it, we can kind of see what the tools look like. That's what the ad looked like. She pointed it to, this is what the image looked like on her Facebook ad. And then this is what the lead capture looked like on the tool. And this is a picture of our tool in the background. And then that's her setting. So it's really a ton of information that our clients are sharing with each other just to get better at lead capture. Everybody knows, everybody can tell that the market's changing and that you can't actually do the exact same thing over and over and expect to really succeed in a changing market when just the dynamics are moving. The inventory is still weird, and I don't know if it's moving from buyer to seller, and we just don't know. We just know things are changing. And at Listings to Leads, we understand that, but we just keep creating tools that help you capture business leads. And this is the last one I'm going to show you from the mastermind group. And it says, this is pretty cool. I thought I'd share. Received this yesterday after the updated property valuation email went out. And I'm going to talk to you about that updated property valuation email. It's an automated email when you start capturing listing leads. And I'm going to show you the number one tool to capture listing leads. There is an automated monthly update of the home value. It just goes out automatically. You don't even have to touch it. And the nice thing about that, in this case, is it's that sort of, that monthly touch that you need to do at least with your leads. In this case, since we captured the lead with this one tool, we sent something out, and then the prospect just scheduled an appointment. They want to meet her about selling their home. And that's exactly why we create as many automated things as we can. So hold on a second. Sorry about that, people. I think I said that was the last thing from our mastermind group. I'm actually going to show you one more thing because it popped in about 5 minutes ago when I was setting up for this call. And this is another example, thank you, for of what our clients are sharing with each other and what the results are like, right? So this is a just listed home. This is an ad that he put out, and he's showing it what it looks like on Facebook. And you would have to just kind of copy and paste to make this ad look like that, but that's what he's done. He's got 43 leads in 3 days, and he spent $58 on that. A lot of reach. You can see down here, almost 6,000 people saw it, 350 somehow were engaging with it. Maybe they were clicking on it, but he's got a lot of leads, and that's exactly what we want to see happening for all of our clients. So that was just sort of me yammering on about, where can you learn more about listings to leads, right? But once all that is said and done, you want to kind of see what these tools are, what we can do. So I'm going to close these blog posts, and I'm going to log into my account. And in Listings to Leads, we kind of have I would kind of call it two different major halves of the system. One is automated tools to market your listings. And we have been doing this, sorry, I'm in the wrong page here. We've been doing this, like I said, for about 10 years. And the reason we've been able to succeed for 10 years is that our clients keep getting business from this activity, right? From using our tools. So I'm going to mute somebody here, guys, because I got a little bit of background. No, I got somebody there I can't hear, or I can't block, but let's see here. Anyways, guys, if you could mute yourself, we are recording this, and this is just help us out. So, again, this is in the mastermind group. Thanks. I can see we got quiet there. Let me log back in as myself. And each of you, what I'm about to show you, if you have an account with us, all of these tools are available too. And like I was saying, there are two halves to the system. Yes. Everybody wants to mute themselves if they can. Okay. So I am logged in, and you're going to see that there are some sections in here. It says get started. Facebook advertising. I'm actually going to walk you a little bit through Facebook advertising because that's the #1 social media platform for advertising and collecting leads. We have an open house toolkit. It's super powerful, whether it's your open house or you're holding it open for somebody else. I definitely recommend that you use our open house. You log in and set that date. We also do live training, and you'll see here that auto posting is live. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And that is an incredible story that I love, and I'm going to show you why in just a minute. But before I go there, I want to point out the two major halves: listings and landing pages. So we have tools that can automatically market your listings. And we actually, again, I know I sound repetitive, we want to make sure that you're capturing leads, as many as you can, actually, right? We don't sell leads, in case you're thinking that's what we do. We sell tools that capture leads, and it's upon you to use them. And the more you use them, the more leads you get. I showed you a couple of examples earlier. But this is what the listings page looks like. And your listings auto sweep in, and we auto generate a bunch of tools. And what you should be doing is taking advantage of the status in case it doesn't change, from like just listed to active, coming soon, and just sold. And I'm going to take one of these real quickly. I'm going to take this active one right here, and I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to make it a open house, right? I'm just going to do that. Sometimes the MLS will auto deliver that to us. Sometimes it doesn't. So it's not too difficult to say, hey, it's on Saturday. It's on from 1 to 4. You can add a couple of dates in there if you want. And you just click save. At that point, Listings to Leads is going to send an email to you with 8 tools to use. 8 to market that one open house. A print flyer for nearby homeowners, something for Facebook, something for Craigslist, something for your email, and then even a sign-in form that you can use at the actual open house, and you can capture more leads, there as well as people are walking through. But I'm just going to click over to the task list. We won't jump all over the place. And I want to show you kind of the nature of what we do when we're trying to market. You click on your social media, and this shows you what we call a listing landing page for this open house. And what's cool about this, and when this kind of gets into the discussion or the definition of a landing page, and I think a landing page is like a 1 or 2 page website that has one objective: give a consumer information, but only when they give you contact information. Now, this is saying there's an open house, and we give you that ticking time bomb thing there to let you know it's time sensitive. And if you want to know more about this, you can either put in your email by clicking this link or click continue with Facebook. I'm going to click continue with Facebook, and I'd like you to watch the center of the screen. You're going to see this flash of a little web page pop up. That's us, Listings to Leads, reaching into into the consumer's Facebook account, getting their name and email, and delivering it to the agent. Now, if you hear my phone ringing over here, it's because I'm getting leads in my phone as I'm yammering onto you. And the page says thank you, and then it drops them on the single property website, right? So now all the details on the home are here. This all got auto swept into the system, and you're going to be, for you as the agent, you know that somebody is interested in this open house, and you have their name and email via Facebook, all right? So that's kind of one of the things that we do. That's just sort of an example of what we're doing when we're marketing listings. I do want to point out that we want our clients to market coming soon, just listed, open house, pending, and just sold. You can even market as price reduced if you want. But some of the other cool things I mentioned in that mastermind group, let's see if we have it. I can't find it right off the top of my head, that there's a print flyer for nearby homeowners. And this one of our clients mailed it to 250 homes, right? And it's already pre-written for you at every status. In this case, it's talking about the open house. So if any of you are holding an open house, it's always wise to obviously put a sign in front of the house, right? But also just putting a flyer that says, hey, we're holding an open house, please join us. And if they want to learn more about it, they can go to this website. And also, if they want to learn what their own home value is, they can go right here and get it for free. So this is all printed together. You can download it at you can send it to yourself via email, or you can download it and print it and just do some door knocking, or you can do what Dustin Fox did and mailed it to 250 homes and get 10 listings. So those are some of the things that we create. We also have, a way to get to Craigslist. If you've got any kind of database, whether it's in Gmail or MailChimp or Constant Contact or Top Producer or whatever, and you want to blast something out about this open house, you can just copy it from that section. There is a virtual tour. Usually you take care of this right up front. We auto-generate a virtual tour. It's a pan and zoom virtual tour. For us and for folks at REMAX, we really recommend that you take that virtual tour, you copy the hyperlink at the top, and you put it on your listings wherever you can. And usually the place where most people can is directly on their listings on Zillow and Trulia. That's a few steps, right? That's copy this link, log into my Zillow account, find my listing, click edit, and drop in the virtual tour. And it does take a minute or two. But the nice thing about this page, as you can see, is that there's lead capture involved with it, right? And if somebody is interested in your home, if they happen to see it on Zillow, if they click that they're interested, you might get the lead, right? But if you get the lead, probably 3 other agents are getting the lead at the same time, right? And that's not really probably what you would really like. But if you put a virtual tour in there like this, a consumer is definitely going to want to look at that virtual tour before they ask an agent anything. And as you can see, this virtual tour is designed to capture leads and bring them to you. You'll notice there's some side links. This is really cool stuff, because if I don't really want this home, I can click to see other homes in the area, and these links would point right to your website. So if you've got a powerful website that can convert traffic and bring people, if I click on a few properties, you're going to ask me to register. Well, then you want more traffic on that site, right? And that's kind of the point of those side links. But what I wanted to kind of point out is here are some of the tools. Also with Open House, I think a really cool one is the sign-in feedback form, and you can see it here. Again, we email all of this to you as soon as you set the Open House date. And I'll just show this to you. If you've got Wi-Fi in that house where you're sitting open this up, and just when they walk through, when they come in the door, just say, hey, you know what, we'd really like your feedback when you're done. When you're done, come to this little laptop here and give us your feedback. And it's a couple of, basic questions. When they fill that out, they get an email with the single property website sent to their phone, and or to their email. And it's mobile optimized, so it helps them. It's got your contact info. It's got the info on the home. But you also get their contact info, right? That would make sense, where we want to capture that lead for you. So those are just some of the tools. But another cool tool, and then we'll kind of stop on this part, is social media for your seller. And not a lot of people like using this. But our clients, there are a lot of our clients who do. We automatically send these tools to you. And we ask you to send it to your client, the homeowner, and to say, hey, put that on your wall. We want more people at that open house. And we want to just, get as many people there as possible. It doesn't, for some people, it's like, oh, I don't like that. Some people take it and they tag their client. And that can work kind of as well. But really the whole point of this is that we not only want to capture leads for you, we want to capture and build a referral base for you. And I think it's really clear when we look at a just sold property. So here I've got something sold, and I'm not going to go through the entire checklist. I'm going to go to one tool, and this is the tool for the seller. And it says seller social media. You can open it, and we email this to you automatically. And if you choose to open it, just copy the information at the bottom. It's between the 2 red lines. Or just click forward and delete everything else, and forward it to your client. Say, hey, could you put that on your Facebook feed for me? All right. In this case, it's a very powerful statement. So let's kind of go look at it. It's going to say, let me just show you. You're asking your client to paste it. So it's not, if you're going to see, this is my page and it says Vincent Meza, and it's also talking about Vincent Meza, and that's not actually how it would be. It would be your client talking about You, right? Our home just sold, and we want to recommend you at REMAX for doing an excellent job. And here's your email and phone number, right? Now, all of your clients, friends, and family are going to know that you are their realtor. And that's a great thing. And that you know how to sell homes. And that's a cool thing, too. If they're remotely interested in that, they can click on it. And when they click on it, it opens up our single property website for this home that we automatically created. So you don't have to do anything but just open the email that we sent you and forward it on to your client and maybe give them a 5-second phone call to say, hey, would you put that on your wall for me? And notice while I'm talking, the lead capture for the call to action, it's different from the ticking time bomb, right? Because it's not time sensitive, it's already sold. But what is important at this point is that that's going to affect your home value. So for people who click on sold properties and pending ads and our tools, we always present the ability to get a free instant home value. And I'll show you kind of what that process looks like in a second. But that's the reason why you want, it's kind of a whole series of things that just happened. We gave you a tool automatically. You give it to your client, they get it out there on their social media, and any of their friends are going to start seeing that you're their realtor. This is just sold. You actually would have wanted to do this when it was just listed, when it was open house, when it was pending and just sold. Your clients are on Facebook and most likely have 2, 3, 500 friends who have no idea who you are or that you're a realtor. But if you're using these tools, they are going to start to know that you're their realtor. And in this case, the client is basically just saying, you did an excellent job. So that's the one half of listings to leads. And I didn't go too deep into it because there are a lot of tools in there. But there is something very new that we released, and I definitely want you to understand this one. I showed you how we could post this to Facebook, and we would send it to you, and you send it off, and you make a call, or maybe you copy and paste something. And our clients have been doing that for years. They've been really great in just taking the tools and using them the way that we described. But a lot of agents just don't feel like they have the time to do that. And so about 2 weeks ago, we announced that we are now auto posting to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn for all of our clients. And so what that means is for you as an agent, if you're a client, we're going to sweep your listings. And if you go to your profile and set it up, and I'll show you where to do that, we're going to push your listings at every status change to your Facebook account, your Twitter account, and your LinkedIn account. And the thing about listings to leads, as you can imagine, is if we're doing something, it's going to be designed to capture leads, right? Years ago, Realtor.com said we're auto posting to social media for our agents if you want to kind of sign up and pay for this or that. And it was cool because it was kind of colorful, but you could not capture any leads on it because it just wasn't wired or designed to do that. This is what our post looks like automatically on Twitter. All right, it'd be your Twitter account. There are a couple things. In this case, we're using our text service. We do have a text IVR service. It's like a $10 upgrade to a normal agent account. But we're putting emojis in there automatically. And this is all written automatically without you touching it and posted there automatically, right? And the great thing about it is if somebody is interested and they click on this picture, well, that's going to pull up our lead capture tool. Okay, and we'll give it a second to sort of get there. And we kind of looked at this before with another property, there's my ticking time bomb because this open house is time sensitive. And if you want more information, you got to click that button. And when I click that button, you, the agent, now get my contact information, my email and my name. And like I said, we're doing this to Facebook, to Twitter, and to LinkedIn. And these are really big sites. People are there all the time, and it's a really great way for you to not have to sort of touch these things. They're just going up at every status change. So let's kind of go into listings to leads. And I'm going to go to my profile. I'm not going to hang out here too long, but I do want you to see this. If you go to profile, there is a new section here, and you'll know it's new because there's a little red pill on it that says new, and it's auto posting. You want to check these two boxes, which means when I get a new listing, post it. And when the status changes, if it goes from just listed to open house, if it goes from open house to pending, if it goes from pending to sold, post it, repost the listing with its new call to actions to my social media. And then over here, you click on Twitter and you click on LinkedIn, and there's a blue button here, and you click it, and that's going to ask you to log into your Twitter so that we connect our system to yours, and then make sure this is on and save it. You also have to do one other thing, and that is copy this information that is here over here. And you see here that this is like, I'm going to highlight this information on the left. When you get to this page the first time, this box on the left here, I'm sorry, is empty. And you got to copy this and put it here. And that tells our system to make your ads look like this so that you don't actually have to touch it. You just got to set up your profile one time, and then we'll start grabbing it from there. And you got to do that for LinkedIn. You got to do that for Facebook. So that's the listing marketing side. All right. There are more tools in there. And I can tell you, the more tools that you use, the more leads you tend to generate. All of our tools are designed to capture leads. But there's also another important platform, or part of our platform, and that is the landing page section. And I talked about landing pages a little bit earlier. I even talked about property valuations a little bit earlier. And so we're gonna focus on that one right now. Landing pages, in case you don't know this, it's funny because I talk to a lot of real estate coaches, and they're all telling their clients, you got to have landing pages. You probably know that Donna is a real estate coach, and she tells people you got to have landing pages. And the reason that I think people say that is that if you have a real estate website, and I'm going to guess that the majority of you on this call have your own real estate website, it is very hard for you to rank on the internet. If the search is for, I don't know, Cincinnati homes for sale or wherever you are you going to be on page 1 of that Google search, or are you going to be on page 5? If you're on page 2, you probably will not get found, right? It's just, that's what the internet's like. We click and we surf, and you're not making it to page 1. And that's because there are big outfits like Zillow and Realtor.com and all these places that dominate page 1, and it is really difficult for you to get there. So, and also, your website, if you have a website, has multiple pages, all kinds of great information, because you want to be a great resource for any consumer that finds that page. But what you might actually be interested in capturing is leads, right? And so your lead capture is buried in this website that nobody knows. But on a landing page, that is not the case. On a landing page, you actually have 1 or 2 pages. I'm going to click on my Cambridge landing page right here. And it only really has one thing to do, right? I can't click around and go to other pages and read about the neighborhoods and do this and that. I can only get my home value here. So let's see how this works. You can type in any residential address in the country and just say, get the value estimate. And at that point, now there is a picture of Cambridge in the background. You do have to put your own picture in the background. We don't have that as like a resource or a library of photos of every town. But that photo in the background is actually really, really important. And when I finish this, I will kind of dive into that. That's a very important piece. But page 2 of this landing page says, great, your report is ready. And this is your home here. That little pink, flag marker there is my house. And that's meant to convey to the person, we know what we're talking about. That is your house, right? And you want that value. So for us to give you the value, what do you got to do? You got to give me some contact information. Why? Well, I'm just thinking about selling, or I'm just curious, or whatever. And I click view my report. And at that point, the page flips around and it shows them the value. You as the agent have the address they're inquiring on, and in this case, the email address and the reason why they're thinking they're selling. And you get the same exact value that they're looking at, right? And that's how you capture a listing lead, right? We also show the nearby home sold. And the data behind this, we have 2 resources, Onboard Infometrics or the Zillow estimate. You are welcome to use either. They come with a platform. There's no other charge for that or anything like that. But we do recommend that you test them out and see which one is working better in your market. So that's how the page works. But I do want to point out that the first step was put in the email address, right? Or put in the address and then click get the value. And then the next one is great. We have the value, but what's your email? 80% of people will leave this page rather than give you even their email address. So there is one upsell. And if you're in the market for capturing listing leads, building a listing database, on the landing page section is something that says subject to the partial lead converter. What that is an integration with a company called Cole Resource. And Cole Resource is an online database of homeowners. So they have the names and emails and phone numbers and cell numbers and last sold values for their homes for almost every address in the United States. So that's actually a really useful tool to have if you're really in the market for capturing listing leads. And notice this is all of my Property Valuation Plus pages, and that's the page that we're looking at here. We call it Property Valuation Plus. And the one thing that you want to kind of know is, and I know and you know, that you are not building your business in one town, in one city. You're probably building it in 3 or 4 or 5 or possibly more towns. And you want a page like that for every one of those towns. You don't want to be going countywide. That never works when somebody wants to know their home value. They want to know that you know their town. And if you're in a big city, they may want to know that you know their neighborhood, right? So you can actually create one of these for every one of those cities or towns or townships or neighborhoods. You just choose the landing page that you want, Property Valuation Plus, and you type in Fairfax and you click the green button to the right and you click add, and boom, it drops you on the editor and you put on a picture of the background, right? Now, I'm going to click on edit here just on one I think I have here on Wesley Chapel. And when you set up that page, when you click that add button, we drop you immediately on this page. And you're going to see that where we drop you is actually on the left-hand column, a section that says background. And it's basically telling you to upload an image. Now, I just uploaded an image that was there, but it would be a really generic picture of like a desktop with a computer and a cup of coffee. And that is not helpful. The reason why I'm diving deep on this is about every day of the week, I would say 5 to 10 people in the United States who are realtors sign up on our platform to get this tool, this one tool. And they go through a class or they get a tutorial and they figure out what to do and they do this. And so it's a really powerful and useful way of capturing listing leads. And if you're going to use our platform, I by all means recommend you've got 1 or 2 of these out on the internet every week of the year, and you will start getting more and more listing business. But the number one change to make is that background picture. And I want to just sort of dive on this in a little bit in a second. Years back, I set up Summit Diner. I set up a Summit Coldwell Banker, right, in New Jersey. And we did a call just like this, right? We rolled out their office and we did a call and all the agents got to hear what was going on. And they said, hey, Vince, they called me a month later and said, this is awesome. We're all running ads. We're getting everybody's getting leads and this is just great. But he just wanted to share that the number one photo in the background of their property valuation landing page that got the most amount of clicks was the picture of the Summit Diner that is on Main Street in Summit, New Jersey. And I'm pointing that out because realtors often feel like if they got to put something in marketing, it's got to be super luxury and it's got to be really cool or whatever. But when you're asking for somebody's home address and contact address, you got to remember that is a really powerful question to ask. Give me your address and contact info, right? Just right off the internet. And so what you got to establish is some amount of trust to do that. And one way is like, hey, I know your neighborhood. This restaurant has been in Summit for 60 years. If I know this place, I know your neighborhood. And that's kind of the picture there that sort of gets that going. Another way of establishing trust is running ads on Facebook. If you're going to run an ad for property valuation, And again, this gets into the deeper strategy of what we do for listings to lead, or at listings to leads, and what we do around Facebook and social media. Um, we're not the only company with a page like this. What is your home worth? I think Bold has it, Curator has it, Boomtown has it, and there's a handful of other companies that have these tools. Prime Seller, Home Value, and their cost structure is totally different. But there is a page that kind of looks like this, and so there are agents using this, and the typical thing that they do is they just copy this and they run an ad and they say, I want everybody in Cambridge to see this, and that's cool. That kind of works. But this really works if you actually are continually marketing on the same Facebook area. If I said, hey, I've got a open house in Cambridge and I'm going to spend $20 on that ad, and everybody within 10 miles of Cambridge is going to see I have an open house. Well, one, a few thousand people are going to see that you're a realtor. Two, everybody in Cambridge knows that you know how to sell homes. And three, on the weekend when you run an ad for what is your Cambridge home worth, they're going to start to recognize, oh, that person just sold something. They had an open house a couple weeks ago, and they're going to start to grasp that you know what is going on in real estate, because every week you are running an ad to say, oh, I just sold this home. Oh, there's an open house. There's something just listed. And then on the weekends, you run this ad of, hey, click here to get your home value in 15 seconds, right? There are more steps to creating those ads, right? What I've shown you is how you create the page. And if you'd like, I'm going to ask you guys that are kind of monitoring the computers over there, if you want to see me run an ad for seller lead gen, I'd be happy to do it. And I do this on all calls. If you feel like you really know it, great. But I would love to take the time. It would take us maybe 5 minutes to see this, because there's some real pitfalls. There's some very simple mistakes that agents make. But to do this correctly can get you hundreds of leads in a weekend, all right? And to have 100 listing leads at the end of 3 or 4 days is really awesome. If you happen to upgrade and have our connection to Cole information, where you had all of the information, not just the addresses, but you got the email addresses, you'd be pretty psyched about that too. So I don't see anybody saying, yeah, we want to see that. But since I'm not hearing anything, I'm going to do it anyway, because literally this is how you run an ad, and this is the way that this is the number one way of capturing listings today. And I know people. Yeah, good. Thank you, Eldersburg. Let's go do it. First of all, you need a business page on Facebook, or you need a community page. And you can run this on the business page or on the community page, okay? But however you do it, there are a couple of ways of doing it. I'm going to show you my recommended way. And that is to go to the section here. It might say settings, where it says create an ad. And I'm going to go a little bit slow here, because maybe you've not seen this in before. Maybe you have run it before. But I'm going to tell you that you can get these tools and you can run an ad and you can spend money on that ad and you could not get any leads. You might get 1 or 2 or 3 leads. And that's not a really exciting thing for you, right? Oh, I spent a bunch of money. I got a big reach. I got people clicking, but I didn't get any leads. I got 1 or 2 leads. That's not satisfying. What is satisfying is what I was showing you at the beginning of the call, where my clients are saying, oh, I ran an ad and I got 100 leads and I got 200 leads for an open house, 230 in 3 days with using your tools. And all these, I've got people saying we're getting, 100 seller leads in 4 days. And that's what I want to see happen with all of our clients all the time. And it is totally possible. But like the lottery, you can't win if you don't play. So if you're using our tools, you start to get those kinds of results. But when running a seller ad, there's actually a couple of mistakes that happen pretty frequently. And that's why I actually want to run in here and do this. I also want to do it just so that you understand why Facebook is so powerful. And if you ever hear about Facebook advertising, there are a lot of gurus out there and stuff saying all kinds of great things. I'm going to tell you what we say, and because our clients are focused on capturing leads. at every stage of the game. If it's just listed, if it's open house, if it's pending, if it's sold, or if they just want a home value, they are using Facebook. That's the number one place of where they're going. And every time they do that, the first page, the first question is, what is your objective? And your objective should always be traffic. Just click on traffic and it'll kind of push you down to the bottom. And it's like, okay, well, what are you going to call this? And I would recommend that you give this a campaign name. This I'm going to call Value Cambridge. And then I would put the date, right? Pretty simple. Nobody sees this except you when you log into your account when you go to your ad manager. And then you just click create. And then it gets us to the next section, which is what they call ad set. And we'll give it a second. And you're going to see there's some wheels spinning here. And I'm going to point out that, I'm going to point out something here. I talk to a lot of realtors, and probably the number one theme that I hear from realtors every day of the week is I'm not really techie. I'm not very tech savvy, right? Half of you are probably thinking, I'm not really tech savvy, and this guy, I don't even understand what he's talking about. But the reason why I'm saying that is a page like this can look really confusing. And for a lot of people, they feel like I got to click through here. Especially the techie people. They feel like I got to click everything. I got to read this. And what I am telling you are the few knobs that you have to turn to have success with Facebook advertising. I am not clicking into every one of these little boxes, and there's no reason to. If you just do what we're doing here, you're going to have success. So here is the reason of why this thing is so powerful. The location. You can type in a zip code. You could type in a town where you are building your business, right? I'm going to say Cambridge, Massachusetts. And when I do that, notice that it shows me the target. It says, okay, Cambridge plus 25 miles. Now, if I was running an ad for an open house, just listed, just sold, I might want people 25 miles away to know, right? To know that. I might want, because maybe people would move from, I don't know, what is this, Quincy to Cambridge, right? Maybe that's a value. You know your market better than I do. You might say, no, you know what? We would really only travel about 10 miles. So I'm going to lower that radius. But when we're running a property valuation ad, an ad to get seller leads, this page only says one town, Cambridge. So I don't want that to be seen by other towns, people living in other towns. I want to check this box, and instead of changing the radius, say current city only. So that says they have to be in Cambridge. And you can also click this, which says everyone in this location, and say people who live here, right? There are a lot of students at Cambridge, right? And they could see it when they're sitting, in their computers. And they just start clicking on it and chewing up their money. Or, oh, well, you know what? I actually live over in Newton, so this doesn't affect me. But every time they click, they chew up your money. You want a minimum age bracket. There are probably not many 18-year-olds that own a home in Cambridge, Massachusetts, right? So that's the one thing that I would tell you to do. But here is the number one mistake that most agents make when they're running ads, especially for seller leads. And that's because we don't even know what this section is. But if there's anything I can, I would love it to see all of you guys getting seller leads. This is the tool to do it. But the number one mistake made is that you gloss over this section. And probably because you don't know what placements means. And they tell you what they recommend. So you go, okay, well, I'm going to trust what they recommend. You want to edit placements when you are running home valuation ads. And you want to change this devices from all to desktop. So if you click on mobile, it turns off mobile. And the reason being, and I'm also going to turn off the right column. This is the center column here. This is the right column. So you can have an ad on the right column, and they generally don't work. And so I just turn it off. But what we have done is we have said that this ad is only going to be visible if I am sitting at a desktop like this. Now, if you recall, there was a couple of pages to this. And this page is mobile optimized. And yes, people are on Facebook on their smartphones all the time. but they are not comfortable when they click this page, they open up the ad and they have to go through and fill out that form. That's just not a comfortable exercise for people. So what ends up happening is you get clicks on your ad, but you don't get the leads. And that's because people put it on mobile devices. They put it on desktop and on mobile. And so now I just changed it to desktop. Now here's the other thing, daily budget. Always change it to lifetime budget. It doesn't mean you're paying them for life. It means that you, what it really means is Facebook is going to drop the money on Facebook, your money, your ad, at the most opportune time, meaning when the highest traffic is there. Okay? If you're one of those people that says, when's the best time to run an ad on Facebook? I have no idea. And maybe a lot of people at Facebook don't have the idea. But I see a question there. I'll answer that in just a second. But if you use lifetime budget, that tells Facebook to use the algorithms of when the people are there the most on their site and present your ad then. So that's what we recommend. Now, this is another important piece, especially if you're just doing this for the first time. I recommend you run property valuation ads beginning on Friday and ending on Monday. It's just a time when we are, and I'm going to change this because it punches you out a month. That's when people are just slow down enough, right? They're just slow, they're kind of quiet enough to look at that and go, yeah, you know what? I do want my home value. What's this? Why Monday? Oh, I think I did it wrong. You want to start it on Friday and end it on Monday. All right. So it's roughly 3 days. It's about $10 a day. And over here, it says the estimated daily reach. It's between 200 and 1,400. So let's kind of split it in the middle and say it's going to be around 700. So this ad's going to run for 3 days. It's going to be seen by about 700 people a day. So, 1,500, 2,000 people are going to see this ad. Okay. And I'm going to click on advanced options because I saw something, they made some changes here. You definitely want to don't even go in there. It should work, but I noticed that for one of our clients, they kind of forced him into something that said impressions. You don't want impressions. You want link clicks. You want people to click to get to that tool of ours. So I'm going to close this and we'll just kind of keep moving. Click continue and we get to the final page of how to create this ad. And this isn't too difficult, but I do want you to kind of know a couple things. You use the page that you're going to be marketing on. That's going to be your business page or your community page. And you also want to use a single image ad. There are a few different options. Always use single image ad. And then scroll down and it says links, website URL. This is where you want to paste the website URL. No, that's not the one I want. I want to send traffic to this Cambridge page, right? And I'm actually going to open it up again because that was not the right version of that page. It is right here. So you copy the hyperlink and you go back to the ad manager and you paste that link there. And let's hit enter. Of course, something changed again. Facebook changes so often, guys. This is a totally different view. And I just did this call yesterday. And I'm going to kind of speak to that. Facebook is a really powerful platform. It's the #3 website in the country. And these guys are really on their game. They are always testing new ways to make their system better. And so you'll find that things change on Facebook super fast. We train on Facebook advertising every week of the year. And I do recommend you get on some of those free calls to just stay on top of what's changing. And also the language, how you write the ad. Certain words start working really well. So let's look at this and we're going to change what's going on. It says, what is your Cambridge underneath the picture? I think that doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to change that to, I'm going to type it over here in this left box. I'm going to say free Cambridge home values. All right. And when I type it in the left box, it shows up underneath the photo. It also says recent home sales have affected your home's value. That is a true statement, but not an effective statement for getting people to click the ad. So I am going to give you 2 lines that work all the time. One is something like this: 30 homes sold in Cambridge last month. And the high was whatever, right? It was, I don't know, 600 grand, right? And then, right, this will affect your home value. And the loaded question or the loaded statement is click here to get your online home value in less than 15 seconds free. All right. This statement is used by our clients across the country and works over and over and over. You can do other things. I'll tell you one thing. Here's another tip. When you're writing an ad on Facebook and you're going to think this guy is totally crazy, use emojis. And I talked to a lot of people, and some people said, you know why emojis work? It's because it makes me think there's a real person there. It's not just something spammed up and copy and pasted. There's a real person behind that. So I'm going to get this house, and it's copied, and I'm going to put it here, 30 homes sold in Cambridge last month, and I'm going to paste in that emoji a couple times. And notice that when I pasted it, it's over here on the right, and it's just sort of making it look a little more graphic, like a real person actually touched this, right? And I'm going to click my little emoji button here. I use Google Chrome, and you can find these kinds of web apps. And I'm going to copy my $sign there. And then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go where it says it's going to affect your home value. I'm going to put in a couple dollars, right? Whatever you do, and this sounds, I used to not say this for months, even though our clients were telling us when we write ads and we put emojis, they get a lot of leads. Because to me, emojis seem silly, right? They just do. They're something that kids do, and I don't feel like talking about it to adults, basically, but I have to, because it really affects the results. So at this point, you're ready to go. So at the bottom, you can go down and click confirm. If you see this, certify compliance, it means you're doing things kind of legally. And if you've done things the way that I just showed you just now, you would be totally compliant. So then you click confirm, and Facebook is going to say, hey, we're going to review this, and then we'll make it live. And they will review it for probably 15, maybe 30 minutes, and it'll be live. And you won't see it on your business page. You will only see it, you'll get an email at the end of the ad. In this case, it would be on Monday. And that email is going to come from Facebook, and it's going to say, congratulations, you were successful in running an ad on Facebook. And what that means is you were successful in spending money on Facebook. It does not mean you were successful in capturing leads with that ad. And there are 3 major mistakes, and I'm going to repeat them in case we're not clear on that. If you were running an ad to capture sellers, the number 1 mistake is the placements. It should be on desktop only. The number 2 is you'll see that people don't click on the ad. So what you will see in the results or in that email is it's going to say, here was your reach. And that reach is maybe going to be like 2,000 people. And then it's going to say, here are your website clicks. And your website clicks should be about, I don't know, somewhere around 100 people. 100 people saw it, but then they landed on the page and they didn't maybe fill it out, right? But if you get 100 clicks, you should be getting dozens of listing leads. And if you find that you're getting 1 lead or 2 or 3, it's probably because you left it on mobile And when that whole page popped up on some person's smartphone, they were freaked out and they just closed it and went away. So if you're not getting clicks at all, it's because probably that picture or the language on top of that picture is not compelling enough for me to click it. All right. But those are kind of the two metrics that people should be looking at. Are people, one, clicking my ad? And if they are clicking my ad, am I capturing leads? And if you're not capturing leads doing a home value ad, it's probably because you have it on the default placements, meaning it's on mobile and desktop, and you really just want it on desktop. So, guys, this is a really powerful thing to do. It is not the only way to capture listing leads. I talked about a couple of others earlier. But I do recommend, I'm going to just give you the snapshot of boiling down what we tell every one of our clients to do. And this is if you want to grow your business, if you want to grow your reach and let people know that you're a realtor, and also if you want to capture leads. Every day, every week, you should be running one $20 ad on Facebook, very similar to the way that I did it. But that $20 ad should be about one home, one listing. This one is an open house. Maybe it's something just listed. Maybe it's something pending or just sold. Every one of those tools that are going to be behind that ad are designed to capture leads for you. But I think the more important thing, finding buyers is many times not a difficult thing. But having people know that you're a realtor is kind of a difficult thing, right? There are thousands of realtors in your area. How do people know that you are a realtor? Well, if you take this link up here and you go and run an ad on Facebook and you say, I want everybody that lives within 10 miles of my town to see this, thousands of people are going to see that for $20. Do that once a week. And I only tell that to people who are like super green, or if they're like really, give me, can you go back on what to choose? Yeah, I will go back. If you've got like one listing at a time and you want to increase that kind of business, or maybe it's two at a time, maybe that's plenty for you, right? But if you're trying to grow that business and you've got listings, you need to take our tools and get ads out there and be running ads. And I don't mean just copying and pasting a link and forgetting it. Running an ad to say, I want this to be seen by everybody over 30 years old within 10 miles of this city, because thousands of people will see that. And that's how you're building your brand for $20 a week, right? And capturing leads. Now, if you're somebody with 5 or 3, 5, 4, 10 listings, you want to be running multiple ads. And our bigger clients run 3 or 4 or 5 ads every week for $20 each. And what that means is thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people are seeing their ads. So every time they're logging in, they're seeing that you got something coming, going, sold, open house. And that's really where you want to be, because then people just start picking up the phone and calling you and saying, I need to buy or sell something, and I can see that you're a realtor. When you do that, when you run one ad a week or you run 3 or 4 ads a week, then on the weekend, run an ad, in this case, a $30 ad for 3 days to say, now get your home value. Because during the week, when I was in line at Starbucks, or I was driving my car, or I was sitting in a meeting like the one we're sitting on right now, I'm probably scrolling through Facebook on the smartphone while somebody is yammering on the other side of that call, right? So they're going to see you, because you can run these tools on mobile and desktop, and you want to use the default placements. And now thousands of people are seeing you every week for just a few bucks. And then on the weekend, this page here starts to get better results, higher quality of leads, and higher quantity of leads. That's the real strategy, is build your brand with Facebook, putting our tools behind your ads, and on the weekend, use our home value pages to capture those leads. This is a great way to grow your business. Now, this is a good time, guys. If you have questions, lay them on me now. Somebody said, would you go back to the page on Facebook where there are all the check marks? And I think it is this page, which is called, it's the first page, and it's called Objectives. And if you could, in the panel there, tell me if this is the right page. And while I'm waiting for that answer, I'm going to kind of speak to this page, because like I said earlier, there are a lot of gurus out there, and they say a lot of different things. One of those things is conversions is really good. You want conversions or you want engagement. And at the beginning of the year, Facebook created something called lead generation. And that became a real hot word. That was announced at the beginning of this year, 2018. And no, it's where you choose desktop only. Okay, got it. Thanks. Give me a moment. Then I will just finish this discussion here. Lead generation is a form supplied by Facebook. So we're not driving traffic to one of our tools to capture the lead. We're just putting a picture up there and you're writing an ad, and then that form can capture it. It does work. It does not work very well with capturing seller leads at all, but it does work on when you're trying to get buyers and stuff like that. It doesn't work as well, and that's why our clients, we've got thousands of clients, and they're all sharing concepts or sharing ideas of what they're doing. We have tested this out. As soon as lead generation became an option in Facebook, we had hundreds of agents running ads, and we were running ads to see what's working, and we're A/B testing. And over time, it was like, you know what? If we continue to run ads with traffic, that's going to work. So the question that was asked in the chat panel was, what about placements? And that's where I had said, and I'm glad you asked that because I actually want to touch base on that a little bit more. This is the placement section. It is in the section where you set the audience. It's right beneath that section, right? So you set the audience. And if you're running an ad to market a home, if the home is just listed, coming soon, open house, price reduced, or just sold, use automatic placements. Automatic placements, good question, Joe. Automatic placements means your ad is going to be on mobile and desktop. So if you're doing a home, open house or whatever, I'm just trying to build my brand, then automatic placements is great. If you are running an ad for home values, like that, you want to click edit and you want to say what kind of device. You don't want it on mobile. You want to make sure desktop is checked. You only want it there. This is really important, guys. It's something that we all overlook, and it is really, really helpful for you to not forget this. So Joe asked a question. I got to go open that up. I remember it looked good. Is it worth promoting your Facebook business page? That is a great question. I'm going to just say my answer is no. And that might sound a little bit foolish, but let me explain something to you about Facebook business pages. When Facebook became a public company, and that was actually not too long ago, they had a huge platform, right? They had millions and millions of people using their stuff, and they were telling their market, create a business page, right? Just go ahead and click a button and create a business page, and that's going to help you promote your business. And you know what? It actually created a lot of jobs for a lot of big companies, a lot of big Fortune 500 companies, the soft drink companies, the car manufacturers. They had like full-time social media staff to get stuff up there. And you might be thinking that you need to do that too, right? But when Facebook went public, they said, well, you know how the public companies are, you've got to have some earnings. You've got to have growing earnings. And one of the ways they decided to grow their earnings is to say, listen, if you put something on your business page, that's cool. It looks nice. But it will have a 0 to 6% reach of your subscribers. So if you have 100 people following your business page, I was referencing your L2L mastermind group. Okay. Okay. Well, let me finish this thought, because this is an important piece. The organic reach, if you have 100 people following your business page and you post one thing on it, maximum 6 people will see it. Because Facebook throttles back that reach. They don't want to give you organic reach. They don't want all 100 people to see that, because they want you to pay for an ad to get the reach and reach a broader audience. That's why just putting things on your business page is not very good. Another thing on that same topic is a lot of realtors like to post things on just their personal page. Just put it right up on their wall, right? And I want to warn you about that, because just this year, 3 times, actually, no, not this year, like since this fall, I've heard 3 different people say their personal accounts were shut down for posting business on their personal accounts. You probably don't know this because nobody's really reading the terms of service for Facebook, but you're not meant to put business on your business account, even though many agents have been doing that for years. The trouble is if Facebook decides that you're like crossing that line, they will shut down your account, and Facebook doesn't have any support for you. The account's gone and you'll never get it back, and you'll lose your business page and stuff like that. So I want to caution you on putting that on there. I know many people do. I actually do demos like this all the time, and I put stuff on my business page or on my personal page when I'm talking, right? Just like we did today. And I make sure and get on here at the end of every call and delete that, so that Facebook doesn't come to me and say, bye-bye, because I'll never get my account back. Okay? So I just want you to be aware of that. There was a question there. Under the platform, there are many check marks on the right side which you recommend not to use. What do you recommend? Let's look at these questions. And guys, thank you for hanging out. I know we're beyond the hour, but I think it's if you're interested, it's really important stuff. Under the platform, there are many check marks, including the right side ads. Which do you recommend not to use? Which do you recommend for us to use? Okay, so this is another ad question, and here I've got it on desktop only because I'm trying to get seller ads. And in that case, when you do a desktop only, it checks automatically this box, which is the right column. We've actually had conversations with staff from Facebook about what's the best way to write an ad. And they, without us even saying, they said, turn this off. You're going to get your best money's worth by turning off those right column ads. It just wastes your money. The other check marks, maybe I'm not in the right section. There's nothing else that I would worry about here. If you're going to use automatic placements, and this is also a good point, I recommend automatic placements when you are talking about any property that's for sale, sold, just listed, coming soon. I do recommend you use automatic placements, and at that point, it's just going to start pushing it everywhere, and meaning mobile as well. And it will also push it off when you run an ad. It'll ask you if you want it on Facebook, and I definitely recommend that you put it on Facebook. So did I answer your questions there? I'm going to open up the question panel because I think there was another one. I was referring to your L2L mastermind. So, okay, so somebody is asking about our mastermind group. And I mentioned it, at length in the beginning of the call, but I want everybody to definitely know this. And since there are 2 ways to do it, if the simplest way is inside your account, in your listings to leads account. It's actually the only way. Well, on the home page, there is a link that says, I'll just point it to you. It says join our mastermind group, right? And it's right here when you're inside your account. It says Facebook mastermind. Click to join. You could also just go to support, and we have 4 support people, and right here just type please add me to the mastermind group, right here in your listings lead support, and our support people will help you do that. Let's see if we've got any more questions. And guys, if you don't have any more questions, I want to thank you for your time here. Is it worth promoting your Facebook business page? Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it is definitely, if you're a client, you got to be in our mastermind group. So everybody, I don't see any more questions. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you have questions about, how to access our platform or want to, get a bigger group account, let me know. And I think that's it. Okay. Everybody, again, thanks for your time. I know I went over the hour. A lot of powerful tools here. The trick to getting leads is actually using the tools. That's what I think it is. So everybody have a great day. I will get this recording off to you, Joe and Donna, and if you want, you can share it with folks, and hopefully we can help you. Thanks. Bye bye.